So I'm outside, place on 2700 South. So it's 938 East, 2700 South. Obviously, you got your traffic here. You know where you're at. Okay, so try to do this as quick as possible. The roof, you know, I can't tell if it really needs to be replaced or if that's been done recently, but whatever was done, maybe it's a second layer that they put over the top, but it's pretty wavy and wonky. I don't know if you can see the roof slope, but it's you know, it's definitely not equal as far as this one versus this one. So I don't know if that's just the shape of the roof, if it's sagged over time or whatever. They'd have to get up in the attic. The inspector would have to look at that. But what I'm most concerned about in the whole house is actually this front porch. And it is definitely, it's pulling away from the house, which is typical with these columned porches here. You'll see right here, you know, this is actually, I mean, it's in the process of actually pulling away. So it would have to be definitely rebuilt, would be what I would guess it'd have to do, just tear it all out and totally rebuild this front porch. You know, I think you'd want to remortar these columns here. You can see even these here are kind of pulling again towards it, pulling out of this column here, and then you see there's almost like just no mortar and these brick columns here. So definitely that needs to be addressed. The AC unit looks new. Yeah, everything else, I mean, I'm walking on lava rock here, so do that. The driveway here looks great. Here you got some spalding in areas, but that's not terrible. Out here it's like perfect. Almost looks like brand new poured. As far as the brick goes here, you know that you get some spots here that I think need to be addressed with some mortar, but not terrible. You don't see like huge stair stepping going on with the brick. And then you have your addition back here. We'll get to the backyard here in a second, but everything looks pretty good. You know, the panel doesn't look too old. You know, they're bringing it in from the alleyway there. So that looks like a new-ish supply line to home. Yeah, the roof, I just can't tell if it needs replaced or if it's a new second layer, but again, we'd have to have an inspector get up there and take a look at that. Okay, as far as inside the home goes, it's actually really cute. Nice setup here. Has ceiling panels, so you're asking about asbestos. I would guess that these might be asbestos tiles. Pretty common back in that era, but again, I don't totally know. I just know that panels like this tend to be. Okay, so here's the bedroom. And as far as the ceiling texture goes, there is some like popcorn to it, but it's been painted over. Usually if it's shiny, I think that is like an asbestos material, but I don't see any shine in this. So I would think that this is probably safe with asbestos. The floors are, you know, true hardwoods. You know, I would have some areas that need definitely buffed up. You know, that's easy. You rent that and take care of them, but it can probably be a project you can do on your own. Windows here, they're double pane windows. Got a tiny little closet in here, but definitely room for like a dresser over here. Okay, so here you're getting more into like a laminate, and that goes into the kitchen. But here, that's like, I don't know, that's a fake tile. But you know, they've done a shower insert. That's real. So they just updated the fixtures and put this little shower tile. I don't even know if, yeah, it is mortar in there. So at some point that was updated. This does have a sliding door here. There's an extra little closet here that you could use for your bedroom if you wanted to get an extra closet space. And then again, you just get these little quirky bungalow storage spaces, you know. Okay, so back here is this little addition. Looks like it was done pretty well. You get your one floor outlet there, and that's the only one I could find in here. So, as far as the windows go, you know, they glopped on paint with a lot of the windows and doors here. So that'd be a project for you to probably scrape all that paint off. You know, could have they been getting some moisture through here? I mean, probably they filled it in and just sealed it shut. But again, you got the double pane windows here and here. These are old single pane that they just aren't showing through. I think they just we'll check the outside and see why that is. But okay, kitchen area, pretty nice. You know, they updated cabinetry. It's Formica countertops, so that'd be an easy one. But you got a gas range here. I don't know about having a gas range with this right over the top of it. That seems kind of dangerous. So I would probably remove this side. So I think you have plenty of cabinet storage over here. So I would remove that. Maybe do some storage up through here, but take those uppers off. Again, as far as glopping things with paint goes, you know, all this trim, the door, you know, that door, you know, it's too bad, but it looks like it has layers of paint, so you have to get the heat gun out and strip those. Same thing goes with all the base and case, and this door, you know, just someone just came in here and whitewashed it. Yeah, it'd be a project getting that back. You can see that there was an old Butler door on here that would swing in and swing out. Add that back on. The dishwasher looks brand new. You got a single basin sink with your extra water drinking source. And you got your cute little breakfast nook back here. Again, double pane windows. That is not a double pane window, that's an old one. That's single pane, single pane, single pane. So your bigger ones, you're getting your single pane. Let's go downstairs. Electrical, it's nice and labeled. Looks like, you know, that was updated at some point, maybe in the 90s or something. Okay, so you get different flooring here. So you get the blonde, that's more your walnut. So that might be a project as well to bring all the flooring back together. Okay, so again, glopped back door. That is sealed shut, and you do have a little bit of cracks here. Not terrible, but you know, they've definitely started, so those need to be taken care of. Okay, so downstairs, this is, I mean, quite the drop where, I mean, I'm not walking down forward. I'm going to want to step to the side here because they're short steps and tall. So not to code, but you know, this is a shelf basement. You'd at least probably want to put a railing here. As far as ceiling height goes, you know, it's about 6'2", I would say. So, you know, I'm able to stand up here 6 foot, but you know, that's about it. It is finished. It's finished ceiling here, and they put heavy texture along the shelf here. Sealed that window shut with paint. Don't know if that would be able to open or not, but again, you get your funky little storage spaces. This would be just storage. You asked about, can I see any water damage? I can't. Not saying that it's not there. You know, there's probably, looks like there's some water stains here, but I don't know. You know, did that come from the window? I don't know. You know, there's a little bit there, but they painted everything. You know, they painted the floors, and I can't see anything that looks like it's recent. Again, this is all just going to be storage space for you anyways. I don't see you really using this. Okay, so now we're into the mechanical room. The furnace does look, you know, new-ish, probably within the past, you know, 10-15 years, but does not have a date on it. Same thing with the water heater. I would say that's probably 10-ish years old, so it might be coming up on it. I got a lot of dust up here. There's no expansion tank, but you know, the tie-ins, looks like that was fairly new. As far as the plumbing goes, it's old. As far as electrical goes, you can see that. I mean, that's new-ish. Probably within the last 10 to 15 years. I was expecting to see knob and tube. I don't see any knob, but there is old tube for sure. But from what I can tell, it was all cut. So I think that new electrical, as far as down here goes, I think that has been updated. I don't know what would be up in the attic, if that still has the knob and tube or not. So, you know, as these homes go, updated in areas. I can kind of see this here, a drain. You know, this is done 2007. Yeah, you know, it looks like it was done right-ish. Back here, you just want to have someone crawl through there. You can see all the spider webs. Yeah, I'd have someone come back and take care of that. But, you know, standard creepy shelf basement. Old coal chute over there. Yeah, as far as the floor goes upstairs, I didn't see any major, you know, I didn't feel any major sagging. You have your columns here, you know, and then your beams running across. Yeah, looks pretty good. They don't have strapping on it, you know, at this point here. You'd want to see that. And then as far as settling goes and stuff, there is a big crack there. So that is definitely going to be brought up in an inspection report. But also at this price, it is something that I would expect to see. Also, I think someone might come in and just, you know, epoxy that, maybe fill it so you're not getting water in from there and it doesn't continue to pull itself away like a earthquake event or something like that. But that's the only big one that I can visibly see on the inside. So, okay, let's go out back. So this area here, you know, a lot of driveway cracks, and not the worst, but you know, it might be worth having someone at some point come in and chop it all up and re-pour it. Show the roof from back here. And I just can't tell if it needs to be replaced. It does look like it's 2 layers. That does, I can kind of see that from this side. So I can definitely, you know, attest to that being what would cause some waving to happen, where it doesn't follow the true line of the roof, and they just put it over the top. So here's your one car. It does have electrical in here, so that's nice. It does not have a motor, so it is a manual garage. So you definitely have to put something in here. I'd probably get one of those side mounts ones, so you put the motor over here. That way you can get your car in nice and easy. Oh wait, no, it does have a motor. They tucked it up in the rafters. Nice. Okay, well that's taken care of. So, we have a timer back here. I don't know what that's for. Let's see. One time it looks like lights. Outdoor lights is what they're doing. Okay. As far as sprinklers go, I did not see a sprinkler system, and I don't see that one. Let's look over here. Oh, it's internet. It's electrical. That goes up into the ceiling in the attic there. So my guess is that they have updated the electrical. There's a clean out there. That's good for plumbing, sewage. You see you got a little bit of exposed soffit there. Otherwise it looks good. Yard is huge. So if you ever wanted to build out this garage and make it bigger or deeper, I mean, you could make it as big and deep as you want. The ridge line there on this garage is not doing so hot. It's got burned up in the sun there. Garage itself, you know, put another coat of paint on that. But very pretty out here. Here's where these lights going on and off on the timer. You have a little pergola that has some grapevines on it. Looks like the vines run all the way down this fence. So that's kind of neat. And then you got private fence back here on this side here. So this is kind of different. You know, you got a fire pit here, but then now you have like a little garden space back here, a little meditation garden or something. My question was, what's behind this fence? Like, do you got an alleyway where you can just pull in and maybe this could become a garage? Or, but I don't think that's the case, because you got stuff in the back here, and it connects to this big house or whatever that is. I don't know if that's a house or a business, but it definitely L-shapes behind your yard, so it's like a flag lot behind there. So unfortunately, whatever's on the other side of that fence, that might have alleyway access, but you don't have it to this house. It's just from 2700, which is a bummer. Have to look into that, I suppose. You know, back here they have it. They have a garage right there that someone's being able to use pretty conveniently. But yard space is great. The house is not the worst in the world, but you know, stuff like that. It's like, what's going on with that roof? You know, it definitely has a sag there. I'm afraid of that. The roof is my biggest concern right now. Everything else looks, you know, looks relatively workable. So, trying to think if there's anything else on your list that you wanted me to take a look at. Outlets, back and water damage.